Welcome to where grit meets growth. Real stories of success and experiences that build the future. All in one place. With us at NorthernTalks.
Welcome back to another episode here at NorthernTalks. Today I'm honoured to invite a very special guest and a close friend of ours, Eva from Ellington Properties, someone that's a top performer year on year. But before we go and dive a little bit more deeper into her journey, we'll understand a little bit more about her and where she's from and who she is behind the job title itself.
Hi Eva, welcome. Finally got you on, yeah?
Thank you.
And thank you very much for coming. Before we talk anything in regards to obviously what you've done out here in Dubai, we just wanted to discuss a little bit about you personally, your journey from Brussels out to Dubai, you know, what you went through, your ups, your downs and things like that. So that's what we're going to be discussing today, yeah?
Amazing.
Okay.
Thank you for having me.
Good.
Our pleasure.
I'm very excited.
So let's start your working journey, shall we say?
Mm-hmm.
What was your first job, let's say?
In Dubai or in general?
In general.
In general. So interestingly, I'm from Brussels, as you mentioned, from Belgium. Right after I graduated, I moved to Sweden first. Not many people know, to Stockholm for 2 years. I was more, let's say, in the retail world. So I was working for big brands, shops, etc. And then shortly after that, I obviously went into real estate. But I've done a lot of small jobs before, restaurants, retail. That was my main thing. I also worked in events for the European Parliament when I was in Belgium. So yeah, a bit of everything.
So at what stage did you think, okay, I need to go to Dubai, or what conversations were happening around that time that made you make that move?
Yeah.
At what age was that?
So I was about 26. Yeah, 26
Really?
years old. Yes, exactly.
Wow.
And it had been working on my mind for years and years and years. Why? Because I have a lot of family and friends that are in real estate in Belgium. My family, my grandfather, he was very big in real estate, so he owned a lot of properties. He was buying them, renovating them, and then reselling them, which is what we see a lot here. And then also, not many people know, but on my mom's side, so I'm half Portuguese.
Wow.
That's where the mix comes from. So in Portugal, I also had all my family there. They own a real estate company still now. And yeah, they're buying and then renovating as well, selling, renting, and so on. So it was always in my family and my surroundings. I have a lot of friends as well who are working in real estate in Belgium, so it was always around me. I always loved doing sales. Obviously, that's why I was in retail. That's why I was even in working for restaurants and so on. I always liked this idea of selling, and not many people believed in me back then. They were, saying, you're too nice, you're too shy, etc. I have changed a lot, as well.
I heard something which I'll touch on later on in the podcast as well, that you were very shy when you first joined House & House. Well, that's another alert, by the way.
Exactly.
Just say everything's safe. We're all right.
We're all right, guys.
But yeah, I think I heard that through the grapevine that you were quite shy at House & House, which we'll talk on later on in the pod. So you've had this family generation of real estate as well. Why didn't you do real estate in Belgium then, or did you do it in?
To be very honest, I was not the best, let's say, in school and and so on. So that was not something I was passionate about. As if I could take any shortcut, I would. And this is actually.
So you didn't really need a qualification then? Is that what you're trying to say? Right. Yeah. Where's Dubai? Anyone can become an agent.
You know what? I've always been passionate about real estate before, because I already have a degree in communications and marketing in Belgium. So before I study again for quite a few years, because you do need a degree for a few years in Belgium to work in real estate, let me try and do something new and in a country that's a bit warmer than Belgium and Sweden, and try something in a new country and see how I like it. And of course, because in Dubai you don't need to do, study it for so long. So for me, it's more, I love being on the go, practicing as I go, doing more in the doing rather than in the studying. So this is always how I've been, and then this is really how I learn.
More of a hands-on approach rather than, so you went, it's interesting because you mentioned, so you moved to Dubai at 26, did you say? Okay, and then is that when you first joined House & House? Or did you get another company before that?
So I had been in the country for a week, and I was...
You've never been to Dubai before?
I had never been to Dubai.
So you just thought, okay, I'm going to go to Dubai, I'm going to do real estate, okay.
So just go back, why was Dubai always in the plan, or is that just something...
It wasn't. I mean, I just started looking... honestly, I wanted to go somewhere a bit different than Europe. I wanted to have a different type of experience. Because it's very international. I could use my English because I had to choose a country where I can speak the language. And also, I started to make a lot of research about real estate in general. Where is the market interesting? Where is it still moving? Where is it still early enough that where I can enter and, maybe make a difference, or enter at a stage that I will be able to evolve in that country, that it's not too saturated as a market. So I was looking at a few places, and then I just decided to buy like this.
What about adapting to Dubai, though? What helped you the most to kind of adapt? Obviously, English is almost the first language, you could say. So that was a massive help for everyone who comes out here from Europe. But what helped you adapt, because obviously it's a completely different culturally, and everything is completely different to Europe, isn't it?
Yeah, everything.
So what made you, what kind of helped you adapt, kind of thing? So,
look, I'm not gonna lie. It took me quite a few years to really say, okay, Dubai is my home.
Yeah.
I think at the beginning you're always in the middle. Should I go back? No. Kind of test it. But after for me, it took me a few years. For some people, it might take less than that. But what helped me adapt, I would say, definitely for me, having a good work environment helps a lot, to adapt to a city, because you have the support from all your colleagues, from the upper management, and then starting to have a group of friends that also speak my language. So a lot of my friends here, they speak French. So just kind of, having things that do remind you a little bit of home. I think that's important for everyone. Sure. And then, just keeping busy at work, health-wise as well. I love to, exercise and stuff. So then you can find a lot of different types of communities in whatever you like to do in Dubai.
Okay. Was there ever a time where... Because obviously all three of us have been through the same journey. We've left our home countries, come to Dubai. Was there ever a moment, Eva, where you sat down in your apartment or in the gym or wherever in the car and thought, I want to leave Dubai because I can't do it anymore? Talk to me about that. Was there ever that type of moment in your life? Or did you just always have that grit that you're always going to succeed no matter what?
I mean, COVID would have come in part of it as well, wasn't it?
So the only time I had that was during COVID. Was it an extended period of time? No. It was like one day yes, one day no.
Right.
Okay. So it was like ups and downs. Because as much as, of course, I mean, first of all, I arrived in 2019.
Right, so pre-COVID, 2 years before.
Let's say like 6 months before COVID.
Few months, yeah.
Then COVID came, and of course, I had only been here for 6 months, so there's only that many friends that you can make in 6 months. And a lot of people started leaving during that time, and so on. So it was a lot of uncertainty. A lot of, your family back home says, come back. What are you doing? Why are you there? And we are here. And And then when you have to stay on your own, it's even more a bit isolating, you know. So that was, I think, the only time that I kind of said, okay, should I stay? Should I go? But it was never about Dubai. It was more about, you know, I felt, okay, all my family's there, my friends are there. I don't have like a really settled group here yet. So what's happening? And also the uncertainty of how long is this going to continue for and so on. So that's the only time that...
Can I ask you, sidetracking, because there's something that you said that kind of triggers me. Are you the eldest in your family?
Yes.
Okay, I kind of gathered.
Why?
Because I don't know why, I just get that sense straight away when you were talking. I just thought, hang on a minute, she doesn't want to go back because she's got that responsibility on her shoulders.
Yeah.
Is that something as well that kind of made you stay? Because you said you did and you didn't, and if you went back, then I don't know, it kind of you might have thought, did I fail? Is that?
That's such a big trait of my personality. I cannot fail. You know, like this is so, it's in me. It's always been in me, and especially because I wasn't so good, let's say, at school. I think that's where it comes from. That I need to, you know, prove myself and prove everyone that, you know what, the student that you thought was never going to achieve anything, or this is what they were telling my parents. So, because they're very harsh in Europe. So basically, I think that's where it comes from. And for me, going back was a failure. You know, it's like, a war can happen, COVID can happen, anything can happen. But for me, I was just like, no, I've committed to something. And this is a big part of my personality. I can tell you many, many examples. Even, you know, if I start running, and I will tell you I'm going to run for 30 minutes. I cannot stop after 10 minutes. It's impossible. I've said I'm going to run for 30 minutes. I'm going to run for 30 minutes. So this is how I am.
But the fact that you came literally just before COVID, you saw that through. And if you've seen that through, it's like nothing else can stop you from like, if that's not made you leave, then nothing else is going to.
And especially only after 6 months, right? Like, because if you were there already for a few years, you know the market, you know it's going to pick back up because you've seen it in a very good way. But even before COVID, the market was fine, but it was also not at its best. And then COVID happened when we were hoping that the market was finally going to get better. So it was a lot of uncertainty, but definitely the best decision I've made to, you know, stay grounded and just remind myself of the decision that I made.
And we can vouch for that because fast forward, you went on to win awards at Ellington, become the top performer there as well, which is, look, we know you personally as well, and we've done business together and work-wise and personal-wise. It's like, when I look at you, Eva, I'm thinking there's that grit that we see in front of, when we bring our clients to you, we see that grit and that passion that you've got, and just your relationship with Fadi and, you know, everyone in Ellington. There's something that I read on your profile or one of your posts that you did on Instagram that you called Ellington your second home. Yeah. Now, I just want to touch on that a little bit more because you mentioned why Ellington? What made you go to Ellington out of all the developers that you could have chose? What made you go there?
Look, so I was obviously an agent, so for quite a few years, and I was selling. I started to have more of a bigger interest in off-plan, just because of the nature of my clients were more interested in off-plan. So then I started to actually prefer off-plan, when before I was always secondary, downtown girl. Then I started shifting to off-plan. Then I started to, decide, okay, what do I want to sell to my clients, just like you guys do it as well, is the projects that you believe in, the developers you believe in, where you think that your clients are going to continue to be repetitive clients because they're going to make money with that developer. And then I started selling Ellington. So I started selling Ellington to my clients and so on. And I sold also a few other developers, but Ellington always was my first pitch to every client.
Same with us, believe it or not. That's exactly
so maybe the same. One day you'll work for Ellington. Who knows?
Well, maybe my own Ellington, be a part of Ellington or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, it's good.
But so then it was kind of natural. I just felt like a change.
But even that came at a risk, because if you think about it, most people who would leave like a real estate company would probably go for an EMAR or a DeMike or a Sober, for example. One of those. But obviously Ellington is right up there, in terms of quality, it's probably number one in the market. But back then as well, it was a lot more smaller, boutique. And so that was a big risk. But you must have seen a gap there again.
Yes, exactly.
Where you thought, you know what, I could actually be one of the top performers here. I'm sure that came into your mind early on in your thinking. I could imagine from what conversation we've had so far, I could imagine that was your part of your thinking as well, maybe.
Yeah, so exactly. So I started to think about which brand represents me the most. Where do really I see myself working for many years, and you see the brand and okay, Eva, she fits in, she represents the brand. For me, that's the most important, because that's how you are able to sell a brand. It's not just because, honestly, you can put me now in another developer that doesn't suit my values, doesn't suit even aesthetically what I like, what I believe in, and so on. I'm not going to be able to sell it. So really, that was the main thing. And then, of course, I started looking at more of an opportunity, aspect. Okay, how many people are working there at the moment? Mm-hmm. How many projects are getting launched? What's the pipeline? And so on and so forth. So then from the opportunities, I also saw a very big, interesting aspect, because I could see that they were at the very start of growing. I could see, because why checking even, how many projects they had in the previous years and then that year, and what they had in the pipeline, how many units in the pipeline, in which types of areas as well they were starting
Belgravia,
to launch.
I'm guessing around that time, Belgravia probably just about handed over, about a year old.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was a very, very sought after project in JVC. Everyone laughed at him at that time. Everyone said, "Oh, JVC, why is Ellington going there?"
Exactly.
But one thing that me and Sachs always say is, wherever Ellington kind of have a plot, it always tends to be where there's an email master community. Yeah. So Dubai Hills, it's very rare that you see boutique developers now. You are starting to see a little bit here and there, but Ellington seemed to have that pull. Could you talk to us a little bit more about, for those that are watching that don't really know who Ellington, might have heard of Ellington and seen the name on the buildings, but a bit of a backstory behind who built Ellington, and did that play a big part into why you joined? Yeah. I'm guessing for us, we always mention it to our clients.
Definitely.
So when we talk about EMARs being the Rolls Royce of the industry, who was the genius or the mastermind behind that? Yeah. I just wanted to hear your take on Robert Booth as well. And
yeah, definitely. I mean, at the end of the day, especially with clients and so on, stories sell. Yeah. Because it's the DNA as well from Ellington, and when they know what's behind as well, they feel safer, they feel it's more stable, and so on, and they see the real potential. So for Ellington, for those who don't know and that are listening, so Ellington is, we're still considered as a boutique developer, but not really, because now we are in a much larger scale. We're one of the biggest developers in the Dubai market. We have been founded by Mr. Robert Booth, who is originally from Canada, and who, very importantly, was the CEO of EMAR from 2000 to 2014. So this is a huge, telling story for the clients, because immediately, if you come to Dubai, even if you're on the plane, you can already see the EMAR master communities. They're, government-owned, and they have a lot of trust. So obviously, saying this, Robert Booth, when he founded Ellington, after that, he then, of course, had still a very good relationship with EMAR, and this is how, for example, you will see us, and why you will see us in EMAR master communities. Not all developers can enter their communities, but Ellington is one of the only ones who can, because of Robert Booth. And let's not forget as well that Robert Booth is the one who introduced as well master communities to EMAR when he was at EMAR. So, and also, Ellington all developers know as well that whenever Ellington enters a community, all the prices from their other buildings are going to appreciate, because Ellington always, gets much higher return on investment.
JVC is a prime example, though, isn't it?
JVC is an amazing example.
Sure.
Nobody understood why Ellington would launch in JVC, but it's actually one of the best investments you could have made as an investor back then. We are achieving rents that are around 20 to 30% higher than any other surrounding building, same as the prices, and still everything is fully rented. You have even waiting lists in some of the buildings. So it goes without saying that Ellington, we always add, let's say, an extra value wherever we go. And the developers know that. So they actually also like that Ellington launches in communities. And you will notice as well that whenever Ellington launches in a community, a lot of other developers will start following as well.
Yeah, I think everyone in the market, from what I've seen, has used Ellington as a benchmark against their quality standards themselves. And I know Ellington is always more about design-led. This is one of the reasons why when clients come from the UK, a lot of our clients are from the UK, Europe, the US, etc., a lot of them tend to look at developers based on show apartments. And I think this is why we love to bring them to Ellington, because we get to not only show them one or two, I think you guys have 3 or 4 show apartments, and each and every one of them is different. And I always say this, your floor plans are by far the best. EMAR don't do 2-bedroom plus maids.
No.
So there's a gap in the market straight away that Ellington have. Sometimes I think is that done strategically, EMAR not doing it deliberately, so people do turn to Ellington. Do you know what I mean? It makes you think, doesn't it? Like, hang on, is something happening here? But like I said, your designs are unbelievable, and I think just having the kitchen island, the extra storage cabinets, and for those that are watching would have to come and actually see this themselves. This is why we say, come, let us show you, so you can actually see, hang on a minute, this is what these guys were talking about. Like, this is why even your ceiling heights are completely different.
3.2 meters.
I want to talk about your belief in Ellington is, of course, it shines through, but you've personally invested in Ellington as well. Can you just touch on where you've invested and why you invested there?
So I invested in a few projects from the start. I fully believe in Ellington, and I can see also what my investors are making, on their Ellington units. Whenever they're reselling them, they let me know, look, Eva, thank you so much. This is what we were able to resell it for. Or even now, of course, now that I've been with Ellington for 4 years, now some projects are also getting handed over, and they're renting with a very high return. So, of course, seeing this, I decided myself to invest in Ellington. And I think when you work somewhere, you do have to, also be a client yourself, because I need to know everything about a sale in Ellington or buying or...
I was just sorry to stop you there. I wanted to ask you, who's having this conversation with you about invest your money, Eva? Because that conversation, not many people at your age that are watching this probably don't know how to invest in property. And I know you're in the industry, but what's making you think, you know what, this is the best investment? Is there someone behind you, like a mentor or someone that we don't see behind the scenes that's guiding you along the way?
To be honest, I mean, you know him, Fadi.
Okay. But, he plays a big part then, yeah? Wow, okay.
So, our sales director definitely plays a big part of, even at the beginning I was a bit scared, to make my first investment, such a big investment and so on. But he always tried to guide me and to understand, okay, what are the important things for me and for the future, what I'm trying to get from that investment and so on. So he always guided me a bit, especially with Ellington.
Interesting.
So, yeah, he was...
We see that as well, like, when we come see you, like, we can see that your relationship is like, it's like, I wouldn't say like a fatherly figure, but more of a mentor. That's why I asked this question, because I've seen that. I've seen, like, sometimes you do seek advice and say, Fadi, can we do this? And he'll guide you. I think that's It's like, in a way, we kind of had that with Simon at House and House.
Yes.
You know, at times we used to look at him and say, I used to look, no, that. And he's like, okay, could you respect him? Right?
Exactly, of course. And also, I mean, for him, I was the first person in his team, you know.
Oh,
so
wow.
it's like,
Okay.
we've been like in the same, or I've been in his team from the very start. So he's seen my evolution. He helped me get where I am today as well. So he pushed me where I didn't maybe think sometimes I could go to. So he's always been really like really like a mentor for me in Ellington.
I was going to say, because this is what fills us with confidence. When we bring a client to you, we know, obviously, when you first got like you said, you did your full research into Ellington.
Yeah.
You saw like a gap in the market and you thought, I could fill that gap kind of thing. Then you personally invested in Ellington as well. So that just shows you've got the belief there as well. Because, I mean, everybody has a sales pitch. Oh, I bought here, but you genuinely have. A lot of people, they've just made it up and said, right. But you can actually see you're passionate about Ellington.
Yeah.
And when you see the show apartments, you realise why. You talk about the quality. You talk about just utilising space and the storage and things like that as well. The size of the apartments, the actual floor plans as well. But for me, like I said, the easiest part is for us to just bring the client to your office.
Yes.
And then everything else you can see with your conversations, because your belief and everything. Yeah.
Exactly. And I can always mention here and there that, I invested there myself, and it helps. At the end of the day, if they see that someone's working there, knows everything about the brand, the behind the scenes, the upfront and everything, and still invest with them, their own money and so on. So and then I think that everyone at Ellington, once they start generating their commissions and so on, they all invest in Ellington.
Yeah.
So I'm not the only one. We are so many, Unfortunately for the investors, we're a lot of people as well from Ellington that are investing in Ellington. So a lot of units are getting sold to us as well. But for example, even like one project that I invested in, Dubai Hills, for example.
Yes.
The 2+ made. So
the
iconic 2+ made that we have. Fell in love, with the project. I love Dubai Hills. I lived there myself in the past for 3 years. So I know the area very well. I know the location. I know the master community. So I know everything about it. And then you just add Ellington. It's like cherry on the top. So 100%. For me, it's a no-brainer.
Good investment.
So very good investment. It's already ready. So I've rented it and doing over 11% on a yearly basis. So of course, I mean, when you see that and all the projects that I've invested in with Ellington are all performing extremely well, why would I go anywhere else?
It makes sense. Yeah, no, it makes sense. There's a post that you did on Instagram. I don't know whether it was Q1 this year or last year, Q4, but you said it was the busiest quarter where you were doing non-stop briefings.
Yeah.
Which launch was this? Was it the Dubai Islands launch, or I'm guessing one of the ones that were...
Usually the first quarter is the first quarter, right?
I think I think it was this quarter that just went.
Yeah, so it was for Dubai Islands.
Yeah, because you launched Mariva.
Exactly, the Mariva. I think my favorite project so far. One of the most beautiful projects we've launched. A full community. First time we're also introducing a hotel as well, part of our complex, which again is going to make the prices go up even more with F&Bs, restaurants.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
Very big names that are going to be present there, restaurants, clubs, and so on. So then you have the golf aspect, the beach, and so on. So definitely that one was one of the busiest launches that we had. Usually we have very strong launches at the start of the year.
Yeah,
Costa
obviously.
Maria as well last year.
Say again?
Costa Maria as well last year.
Yeah. Costa Maria was a huge one. I mean, the reason why I was touching on Dubai Islands is because you've had one on Island A.
Yeah.
Ellington Sands, and obviously Island B is more of a private, more exclusive island. It's not, because you got Island A, which is like you got all these low-tier developers entering the mix. And this is why it's so key, because Ellington always seem to secure the best plots.
Yes.
So your plot on Island B is next to another kind of boutique up-and-coming developer as well. But one thing I wanted to ask you was, we're the agents and we have to introduce it to clients, but walk me through a day in the life of Eva, for example, on the pre-launch day, because when you walk into that office, you not only got Ali, Sakib messaging you X, Y, and Z, you've got hundreds of agents, man. What's that day like for you? Like, you must be booking units every second of the day. Like, can you just walk me through what that day looks like?
On the launch, you mean?
Well, a lot of your units are sold pre-launch, right?
Yeah.
So it just goes to show what does that look like. So I know launch date, let's say, is the 1st of March, for example. A couple of days before, it gets...
You mean at the actual booking stage, I think it's...
Yeah, the booking.
Yeah, so the weeks before I prepare I introduce the project to the agencies and the agents, and I have calls like I have with you guys to explain the projects in depth, so you can then explain it to your clients. I always do that. I'm going to share my secrets now, but I always do this in the morning. So I have always like an order of things. I do this in the morning because then I don't have to go first to the office. I go out, I go meet the agents and so on. Then I go to the office and I then start, putting everything that, happened on WhatsApp, because as you know, here we work everything on WhatsApp, which can be a bit overwhelming as well because it's not as organized as emails.
Yeah.
I try to be as organized as I can, but of course it's a lot of messages and calls. So then I organize myself. I put everything in the system on Excel sheets and everything with the documents of the clients. I reassemble everything. And then, when the bookings happen, it's...
Is it just chaos? Like you're running back and forth? Like I've seen you. I know what you've run on that side of the office to see Friday. Then you're coming back.
Yeah.
It's like people don't see that side of you. Like it's not easy, is it?
It's one of the hardest, jobs, I would say. Mentally, it's not for everyone, really. And I think a lot of people say, like, when we see you, you look so calm. But I'm 100 miles an hour, in my head, in what I'm doing. I can do so many things.
I want to ask you about the biggest deal that you've ever lost. There must have been a moment, because we as agents we have that where we lose a client to another agency or whatever, or someone else has beat you to it, because in this industry speed is everything.
Yes.
So have you ever? I want to kind of understand.
Yeah, I lost a very big deal in one of our projects. It was, a few floors and penthouse, so it was quite a big deal. And
direct client or?
No,
okay.
Through an agent. And I had been working on it for 3 months. Yeah, September, then October, November, and then December we launched. So I had been working on him for very long, a lot of meetings outside the office, dinner, lunch, late calls almost every night. But I was sure it was going to go through. So when I have this, I know it's going to happen. Usually I'm always right. So it happened. The deal went through. He came, signed off everything. Everything was done. He paid 34%. Everything was paid. Everything was done. Right?
Wow, it sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds good. And then there was one clause that was worded in a way that the client didn't like, but just because of his let's say native language, it was like translated differently. I try to explain in many different ways that, we can change it, we can adapt it. Ellington, we are a bit flexible with those things, but it was kind of a deal breaker that without me knowing. And then I guess that I didn't fully understand the gravity of what was going in his mind with this clause. So
did he reach out to you and say this is
no, to the agent?
Right, okay. Yeah. After he's paid the 34%.
Yes, still to the agent. Yeah, and then he decided to cancel everything. So that was.
What did you learn from that?
First of all, don't spend the money that is not in your bank account.
I was just about to say, did you get paid out?
No, but what I mean is...
You spent in advance, basically.
I always said nothing is done until it's done.
Yeah, yeah.
But for me, that was done, right?
That was done, 34%.
That was done.
Oh, God.
But, so for me, the lesson is really, until, the money basically is.
We've all been in that position, but the thing is you've got to realize these things do happen, and if anything, as long as you learn from it, if anything, you need these things to happen as well.
Yeah.
Because people in the outside world just see, you're in Dubai, in this real estate, everything's glitz and glam and everything, but you do have these knockbacks.
Exactly, and to be honest, of course, I've learned many things from this deal, even to be in touch with the clients more after, not just me, the agent as well, to keep up with the clients the following days, after the deal happened.
So the WhatsApp groups help, don't they?
Make sure there was no WhatsApp group because the client didn't want.
Okay, fair enough.
But just to keep the communication going, I would say definitely with the agent to make sure everyone is aligned, even after he paid. But it happens, and sometimes you lose and you win and you lose. This is part of the job. I think I'm quite not immune to it, but as in because I've lost so much, I won so much.
It kind of balances it out.
Yeah, exactly.
I think from that story, then of course you were hurt, but I'm guessing the agent would have been 10 times hurt because the commission on that side is a lot. It's a lot more.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I just feel okay. This was out of your control, I'm guessing, but it's like you said, it's a learning curve.
It's with any walk of life, isn't it? It's the knockbacks. That's what determines what you become, kind of thing. So it's not just in sales. It's literally with anything. You get knockbacks in life, just in general.
Of course.
And it's just how you come back from that.
Yeah.
And the fact that you've come out and you're the top salesperson in Ellington for the last couple of years, kind of thing. It shows again what you back to 2019 when you first come. It's just that grit.
Yeah, because for me, even sometimes our CEO, he will come to me and he will say Eva, are you not happy today? I just saw what you sold and so on. I'm I am, but in this job you always have to be
on to the next.
You want more. Next, I forgot about this.
The
next day I start from zero.
Amazing.
So,
good idea.
I love that. That's addictive. Now you're talking about a drug here. You want what's more.
Exactly.
One thing that I wanted to ask you, two things actually. One thing is, I remember my clients came to the office and Sakib was there as well. And you said to me, they're going to buy. And I wasn't convinced.
Yes.
And I looked at her and thought, nah, she doesn't know what she's talking about. Because the way I like to do sales is, you understand how we like to do. We like to take the step back and
it's just an introduction.
Yeah,
no forcing.
But when you said that to me and you said no, I was like, look, and then when they did, I was like shit, what just happened? You just know you have this eye now.
Yeah.
And I just want to say this. I'm not saying it because you're sat here. We say it all the time, but definitely seeing a growth in you. I want to know now. What is the next step for you, Eva? What's your next goal? I know you talk about the next deal. That's financial, right? You want another deal coming through and whatever. And, we've got clients that we're talking to now and hopefully, potentially, I know Ellington does a lot of JVs and, there's other scopes of investments for our clients to get into. But you as an individual, what is the next step? I'm talking personally.
Personally, not in Ellington.
Both, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Are you looking to settle down? Are you looking to what's the next step?
It's a bit too personal, I think.
Is it?
No.
No, it's a fair question. Yeah,
No,
because at the end of the day, once you reach...
Yeah.
But who are you doing this for? This is what I want to get to. What is this for?
Well, look, when you reach a certain level, it's hard to go back. It's like anything, right? Once you start driving a car, once you start living in a certain place and so on, it's hard to go back. So I cannot go back anymore. Now I have to keep going. Nah, but on a more serious note, I think what I've been doing and why I've been working so hard, because people might only see, okay, she's closing because they would always find an excuse why I'm closing, because she knows this person, but she's not really working. You know, like she's just closing. It's luck.
Can I just say, it does feel like that though? Like it feels like you're just walking. Like the way you do it is like Eva's not even in. She's away, or she's in. She's flown out yesterday. She's gone here. She's gone there. I'm like, what? Eva, come on, we need. But it's just. I think it's just a testament that it shows like that from the outside, because you're making it look like a breeze, which is credit to you. But go on, carry on. Sorry.
Because I never want my agents like you or the clients to feel like I have a lot on my plate and I don't have enough time or whatever to handle you guys. I always have time. I always have, I will always give you my time.
When you're in the country, that is. You're not
even when I'm not. I answer.
That's fair. Yeah. No, that's fair enough. You do respond.
No, but for me, to be very honest, I think that for me, honestly, I think that why I got where I am today is because of the relationships that I've built, in the market, and also the trust. Because any broker in the market, I'm not just saying this here, but I can say it, but they will never say, a bad word. Never. Like, Eva, she stabbed me, or she did this behind my back, or I brought a client and then the client disappeared. Never. Yeah. It wouldn't another developer, and because they felt this, there was no more trust, and they did something that made them think, okay, they could easily take my client. So for me, this is, my reputation in the market is super important. That it is for my relationships with my brokers. It for me is the most important, because at the end of the day, I always tell the guys in the office, don't think short term. Yeah. And it's same as you guys, right? Like, for me, it's different. It's with agents. It's with clients. But for me, let's say you guys are going to bring me maybe, 5 clients, 10 clients a month. How many deals is this client going to close with me in the future? Yeah. Even if he closes, a lot of units, I don't care. I'm going to lose at the end of the day. I'm going to lose my reputation. I'm going to lose the trust in the market. I'm going to lose the trust with you guys, relationship with you, which is the most important. And I'm going to lose a lot of business down the line, because this is the word that's going to come out.
That's what it comes down to, because building that trust and everything you built is taking you 5-6 years. But you can literally lose it within one client or click of your fingers. Because I know for a fact, and we've done it in the past, where if I've not been in the country or I've got a meeting with another client, I can confidently hands on say, I can send my client to Ellington and say, Eva, you look after him, knowing you're not going to try and take him away from you, anything like that.
And I have very strong examples. Like, I can give you one. She's a broker. We got along, etc. And she then changed company. She opened her own company. She then brought me a client, which we closed. We closed a very big deal, like a big villa. And the client then had my number. The client, few months later, contacted me directly and asked to book, I believe it was three more villas in a new launch that we did, plus more units. I discussed with the client, etc. However, immediately I told my agent, look, your client has reached out to me, so just so you know, I'm in contact and this is what we are discussing. I will let you know when the deal is done. The deal was then done. I sold 3 more villas and a couple more units, and I put everything under my agent's name. And this...
I'm sure I heard this story.
Yes.
I'm
Really?
sure I have. I'm sure I've heard it. But I don't know where. Something that just rings a lot of bells. I remember there was a time where you did, unless you might have mentioned it to me before, or I must have heard it in the industry or somewhere, but I do remember where someone said that Eva actually contacted the agent and said, that's a big thing to do.
Of course.
Massive.
And I've done it several times, and for floors, for villas, for, we're not talking even the smallest deal, I will never do it. Never. Never.
That's crazy.
Because for me, the relationship with the agent comes first. And this is, I think this is when you will see the difference between the people who are performing in the long run. Because it's easy to be top 1 for 1 year. Maybe.
I was just about to say that. You took the words out of my mouth. My next question to you was going to be, you can earn the top performer for 1 year, but to do it consistently, the way you've done it, what does that look like? Like, I know you avoided my question before when I was asking you what's your next step.
Yes.
Like, what is next for you? Because you mentioned, I'm picking up small little things that you're saying.
Yeah.
You said something about when you're speaking to other people. Is there a team below you, Eva, at Ellington yet, or
no?
Is there not? Or is it like someone new started?
That choice, but no, I don't. At the moment, I mean, it's as in Fadi's team. Our team.
Our team.
Yes, exactly. So we always share, our experience, and especially that when there's new people joining. This
is what. Okay. They ask you for advice, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So go on then. What is the next step? Do you want to? There's nothing wrong in you taking Fadi's role and Fadi moving up, right? Do you know what I mean? Like, what is that?
That might happen.
Okay.
One day. So this is more on the, let's say, Ellington side, but personally, I love real estate. So I think, I'm thinking, to start maybe doing different types of investments in Dubai, renovating, which I haven't, done before. I always bought off plan, buy something maybe ready, renovated, resell it. So explore
different avenues.
Yeah, different types of markets. Even now, I'm looking to invest in Belgium, in a very big thing in real estate, because I have a big network there as well. Who knows? Maybe in the future in Spain, because I love going to Marbella. I could, So I think now it's all about exploring and growing my real estate portfolio to then hopefully one day be able to enjoy.
Because you've given yourself that freedom now with all obviously the hard work you put in the last 6-7 years here.
Yes.
And it's not all been.
No.
You've not been at the top all the time. It's something you've had to build, and you've given yourself that freedom. So as long as you got the right morals and obviously your head's in the right place, and you're not here to do anybody over or anything like that, you work your way up and you get yourself in a position where you can have these freedoms. And now, do you know what I mean? You're not just an agent, or you're not just in sales. You're actually an investor as well. And that's come along the journey as well. So that's a massive kind of statement. Yeah.
Like most people, I also came from. I had nothing. I had to sell my Fiat, car in Belgium to get something on my bank account. This is how it starts, and then you just. I think it's a lot about your personality,
100%,
consistency, and.
Because a lot of people don't actually know, but you actually visit a lot of these agencies throughout the week. Yes. So I remember every Tuesday you used to come to see us first.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I was there this morning.
Say again?
I was there this morning.
Okay. No, but it's good to maintain that relationship as well, because it's not as easy as just sending a WhatsApp and this is what it is. Sometimes conversations need to be had face to face, so we actually understand. Every time we come to see you, or it's always like we're learning something new. Like,
100%.
okay, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's not just turning up, because you used to come, there were no launches.
Yeah, no.
Just to keep you showing your face, and that's what it comes down to. Oh, Eva's here, and just having a lot of the time we were just having normal
Exactly.
conversations and,
Remember-
and just that relationship building. That's what it
Do you
was.
remember there was a time, yeah, where there's I'm gonna say your name now. You know, remember Lorraine? I'm just gonna give you an example. I said, do you remember she used to come in every Tuesday, yeah? Like she used to just. I'm sure it was every Tuesday, wasn't it?
don't know.
She used to come in.
An hour before Eva, she started.
Yes.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
No one wanted to work, right? But you know something? Everyone ended up using her. Just that persistency that
She
she
was
just
just there.
kept on going.
At the
Yes.
start, it was like, what is going on here? But then actually went and she was actually really, really good.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Exactly.
gotta
No,
put-
it's
once you put your-
about resilience, and at the beginning I did things that nobody wants to do,
Yeah.
and many people don't do it. Even though I can give you all the keys, not everyone will be able or will want to do it. Not the keys, the cards. But it's down to yeah.
That's why your job, going back to when you were saying it looks easy. It looks like I just get sales, but this is the stuff that people
the
don't
work,
see.
exactly.
And that's why your job looks easier, because your background work that you're doing,
Yeah.
these relationships, turning up every Tuesday to a certain place or
Yeah.
a Wednesday or a Thursday, that's what's making your job look easy because...
Or even all the work because look, you arrive in a developer, nobody knows you.
Yeah.
You start from scratch.
Exactly.
I was doing things, just to get meetings, pretending that I had an appointment in that specific building tomorrow.
And then
You
I'm
know?
in the building anyway.
And then-
Let me pop
exactly.
in. Yeah.
We all do this.
Yeah.
Or to call, agents that speak my language, because I already know they speak my language, because on Property Finder you can, check the nationalities, the languages they speak. Oh, you speak French? Oh, really?
It does make a big difference.
Of course.
Massive difference.
Anything that you can relate to, you do it with the clients. I do it with the agents. Like when you have something in common, obviously it's much easier to create a relationship. But so I was doing this every day. I was going to new buildings, visiting I don't know how many agents for a month and month. And then only later on it will start, to come to you.
Trickling, yeah.
Because your name gets out in the markets. Oh, Ali told me about you, like this.
Yeah, word of mouth referrals and that sort. What it is, it's a very, very hard industry to maintain because it is a dog eat dog.
Yeah.
Like someone else could come into Ellington tomorrow and I remember that might have happened at Ellington. I think you stamped your ground and said, no, they're mine. Like everyone knows that one agency was just Eva's. Like you couldn't mess with it. Do you know what I mean? It was true. I felt that when we were there. We're like, hang on a minute. That's loyalty with her, mate. Like, leave us alone.
And you know how much.
Yeah, and you would have got angry. Yeah, I just want to. Okay, so go on then. So, what's the next step? Because I know you keep avoiding this now. What is the next step for you? What do you think is? Where do you see Eva in 5 years? I know you said you want to invest in other real estate projects and whatever, but I'm talking. Do you have like a financial goal? I want to hit X amount, or I want to. Where do you want to be in 5 years from now?
Honestly, I know it's.
Have you ever thought about setting your own company up? Not in real estate, just in general. Has that ever crossed your mind? Any industry like?
I've always been very interested in the wellness world as well. So I love, for example, Pilates, and so this is more of a passion.
This is passion, yeah.
So this is something that I love, and all the healthy things, and a juice bar, and so maybe, who knows, maybe a small studio.
But has that been on your mind?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I've discussed it already with friends to partner up to maybe do something. So this is definitely something I've been thinking about. But to be honest, I've.
Are you not thinking that far ahead? Is that what it is?
The thing is, your position, why you wouldn't really. Obviously, your passion is you want to open.
No, I want,
studio,
yeah,
whatever it is,
exactly, and I want to have, a few properties in the countries and let's say the places that I love the most, where I can make my family enjoy, my friends enjoy during summer, create memories there. I'm hoping to have maybe a little bit more of a balance as well because I've sacrificed a lot my personal life the last few years, like not going back to Belgium to see my family or my friends and so on, and really working non-stop. So maybe, in the next few years to
is that
have
okay?
more of a balance.
So that was your biggest sacrifice is actually leaving your family and friends back home. Would you say you'd want to spend more time with them?
Yeah.
Is that something?
Exactly. And maybe, as I said, like create memories. Doesn't have to be in Belgium, but have a place there where I can invite everyone and we all go there for a few weeks or whatever.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So I'm going to ask you a few questions, Eva. Fast fire. Just give me one word answers if you can. One area in Dubai that you're going to be watching very closely right now.
Dubai Islands.
Wow. Okay, interesting. Have you got more plots coming up? Oh, this is where you need to tell us. And we will talk about the offer.
Said one word.
Yeah, I know.
Dubai Islands already two.
Yeah, okay. One trait that every serious investor needs.
Risk comes in.
Yeah, to accept risk. Like in any investment in the world.
One word that describes Ellington.
Vision.
One word that describes your sales style.
Relationships.
Good one, Matt. Yeah.
You know, at one point...
Charisma.
Side note, at the start, your sales tactics were very different to what they are now.
Really?
Very different.
Tell me.
Yeah, you were very... I don't know, man. It was
No, you see the confidence now. Honestly,
yeah, the confidence now is big.
There, you see it come through, regardless if they got 100 million or they got 1 million.
I would say that's one of the biggest changes. Yeah. Nothing impresses me. As in, as you said, I can be with someone that has 1 million, 100 million, 500 million.
They're
getting the same level. They're getting the same level.
And I think that what I have changed the most in my style is that I am fully myself.
Yeah.
In my meetings, maybe before I was a bit more, let's say, I don't know how to explain, but there was more of, distance between the clients and me. I'm more serious and so on, but now I always manage to engage more on a personal level, which is what at the end of the day everyone wants, that you have 1 million or 100 million. So I'm always able to break the ice in a way or another, and I'm fully myself.
Because we see it with some people. It's somebody saying, I want to buy a full floor. That agent or the developer, they'll get phased by it and say, you can see the panic all of a sudden. But that's one thing I've noticed with you, and that's over the last especially 2-3 years.
Yes.
Especially since we've had our agency, and we've been bringing completely different levels of client, whether they want to put in 1 million, whether they want to put in 100 million.
Yeah. But
your level stays the same with them, and that for me is a massive, massive change that I've seen over the last. That's just me personally. Ali probably agrees as well, but I've just seen that, and I think that's with you. Obviously, with the experience, you're not fazed by somebody who's a billionaire or a millionaire or somebody who's just putting life savings in.
Exactly.
Whether they're a serial investor or the first-time investor, your level stays the same.
Yeah.
And I feel that's why you're getting consistent results. Mm-hmm. That's why you're the top performer pretty much ever, because you don't give somebody that extra time just because they invested more than the other person. Yeah. They'll get that same level.
Yeah, that's true.
For me, that's just my personal kind of opinion of what I've saw over the last.
Interesting.
Yeah.
See it from the other side.
Honestly, it's very, very true.
Yeah. And you, why are you laughing, Ali?
I'm just, do you know what it is? It's because I keep saying it before, but I'm not saying it because you're here, just because it's that trajectory. We've seen you grow, and it's mad. It is mad. And I can say it openly now, but I feel Shirin's on the same journey that you were on years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, she's grafting.
Yeah.
But now you can slowly, she's not, I wouldn't say she's there yet, where she'd, clients would come in and, before, the reason why I'm laughing, to answer your question, is because all I picture is Eva running out to the printer and getting the sales offer. And she used to come in our meetings with the sales offer, this is the payment plan. Mm-hmm. And you were trying, do you know what I mean? And it's
Yeah. So different. Yes.
So different, because that to what you do now is if you want it, you want it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And
Sometimes I don't even go on the screen.
yeah. I'm like, Eva, can you show where
Exactly.
it is? Yeah. Okay, interesting. Okay, I'm gonna carry on.
It's changed a lot. Yeah,
It has changed, and I'm proud of you. Honestly, I am. And I think
we've all grown, like together as
Definitely.
well. So it's nice to see where we've come from, and the way that we handle objections, that we handle problems. At the end of the day, our job is handling also issues and so on. And I think we're all more resilient, more adults, because we've been through so much, and this is the way that we've grown.
Which brings me perfectly onto the current scenario in Dubai and the UAE. Won't touch too much onto it, but as a developer's standpoint, from your standpoint, I know across all the other developers, they are going to start to bring out more offers to attract new buyers not new buyers, but existing buyers back. I would say, and I was talking to a client this morning, and he said, this is a buyer's paradise, the situation that's happening right now, because people wait for moments like this, like COVID happened, and people that bought property during the COVID period then went on to make a lot of money in capital appreciation because they took the risk. And I think the risk element versus the reward in times like this where there's uncertainty going on, how are you seeing it from your perspective? Not specifically on the situation, but from a developer's point of view, what are you seeing in the market? Deals are still being done?
Yeah. So from Ellington's perspective, or even the market, deals are still going through. We are still selling. I sold myself as well, unit 2 days ago. So yes, it took a bit more effort than, it's not as easy, let's say, as it was like the previous years. We have to go back a bit, to the normal standards. I went to Ellington House to show him the facilities, how it looks like, and then we close.
Which never normally happens.
Never. We don't have the time as well, but usually we never do it. The clients don't request it. But now, let's say, yes, it's a bit more, let's say, out of the way and have to think in a different way. But we have to adapt at the end of the day of any market. COVID, now, etc. So now in terms of how we see it, let's say compared to the investors in the market, is that what a lot of investors don't, I think, understand yet, it's now for us, it really is the best time to buy. And why? It's even better than COVID. Because after COVID, the prices of fuel, petrol, transportation, all the material costs, they were not going up. Food was, etc., but not that aspect so much. Now, it's completely different. We already know that prices have gone up by about 25 to 30%. For all the material costs and the fuel and so on. So even if it's all stops now, and in a few months from now, the prices are not going to drop. They have to make up for whatever they lost in the construction, in the transportation and so on. So all the prices are going to go up. And people still don't understand this, that whenever the market really picks back up, now it's a little bit slower, of course, it's understandable, worldwide, not just in Dubai. I'm in touch with many people in Europe. It's like everyone is waiting, but they will see that whenever it picks back up, first of all, Dubai will be the first city to recover from this.
I agree.
100%.
I agree.
They already have a plan. They think ahead than anyone else. They already have a plan to come out of this much stronger. The prices are going to go up. This is a fact. So whatever, and that's why you will see that all the biggest developers now, such as Ellington and all the other ones in the market, we are not launching. We are not launching not because we don't have clients. I have an envelope full of checks for the coming launch. It's because of the price of the construction and the materials and so on that is not still set because of everything that's happening. So you will see now, yes, you have amazing deals to be done. We are flexible in different ways in Ellington. that we can always discuss, etc. But in the future, prices are going to go up. Now, for Ellington side, of course, because of the situation, since yesterday, what we have decided to do is like a special offer. Let's say it's more of a, let's say, a security in times of uncertainty in the market. It's more of a security for the clients, so they can see stability, growth, and so what we are doing just like a special offer. Let's say that we are assuring the clients that if they buy a property with us now, once comes handover completion, we are guaranteeing return on investment on their property. So we're guaranteeing 7%.
Is that net?
Gross. So before service charges per year, per annum, for 5 years for Dubai and for 4 years for Ras Al Khaimah. But this is for me, this is so Ellington again. Such a bold statement to say we are confident, we know we can achieve those rents in a few years from now whenever the project are handed over, and we are happy to secure it. It's the first time we are doing this. So
I've never seen Ellington ever give that sort of offer publicly. I think a lot of developers will start to follow suit. I know Ellington are very, very different and very flexible on payment plans. Like EMA's 80-20, Ellington starts off at 70-30. Depending if you can get the right... This is why it's always good to have a relationship with someone like yourself where, hopefully we can get a better payment plan for the client. And, because this is not the first client that this agency is bringing through the door. You keep us happy, we'll keep you happy, and that's what I like about the relationship that we have. So this 7% over 5 years is guaranteed.
Yes, guaranteed.
And that's across your Ras Al Khaimah and your Dubai projects that you've got currently. I think Hillgate, you've got Belgravia Gardens and them
Mercer House, Highgrove, and then we have 2 projects in Ras Al Khaimah, Costa Mare and Playa del Sol. So, and of course, this offer is from handover time.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So, but I mean, again, what people are looking for in times like these, it's they want stability. They want to make sure that wherever they put their investment and their money in, to be sure that once comes completion, they can rent it out, they get a certain return, and so on. So this is a big statement, in my opinion, from Ellington to say we are able. If the client doesn't want to do it, comes completion, he doesn't need to do it. So.
I think by the time it hands over, and I always believe, like, a lot of people always get focused on today. I want, just very quickly before we end, is there's the storms that happened last year or the year before. I mean, everyone written Dubai off at that time and said, oh, Dubai's finished, it's flooded, it's this and that. And then it happened again last week. And the recovery time, me and Saki was talking about this, the recovery time this time was unbelievable. I think 2 days later, the roads were clear, everything's back to normal, and it's old news. And I think this situation that we're going through right now, hopefully it ends quicker than everyone expects. I mean, people are saying 3 months, people are saying 2 weeks, we don't know. But when that does happen, I think Dubai is going to be the fastest to get it back to number one. If anything, the Sheikh, the government, they know, right? How do we bring tourism back in?
Exactly.
How do we bring people to buy property? And this is when they introduced the golden visa, and that caused a big. They're going to have to start thinking outside the box. So we might start seeing 4% DLD waivers, discount on the price, not as much on the price per square foot. And I know some areas are over, and I think Sachs was saying it as well. You kind of need this to happen in a way. It's a blessing.
Yes.
Because the market was going at such a fast pace. Yeah. We kind of needed a slowdown where it's like, you know what, let us breathe. And then the new wave of investors that come in this year and next year, I'm very confident this will be the busiest year for all of us.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, we will see a strong comeback.
And also a bit of, readjustment, like, of the agents. There was too many agents in the market, too many developers.
That's what we were saying. It's probably cleaning it up a little bit.
Too much of everything, it was just getting very overwhelming for you guys as well to
Yeah.
keep up with everything. So much competition, so many developers, so many launches, and so on. So, in a way, now you will also see, like how the developers will have handled the situation. Have they stopped the construction?
Mm.
Are they continuing the constructions? Are they, so all those aspects people will pay attention to now. And I am only sure that Dubai, first of all, I have no doubt it will be the fastest to jump back from this situation. And people actually in the world, they will start, wanting to move to Dubai even more than they did before.
Our friend Cam, he moved from South Africa, and he actually said that because of this situation, it's made him love Dubai even more.
Exactly.
Like, he's like, I was like, a bit very surprised by that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are now seeing that, we claim that we're the number one city in the world that's for safety, but I feel safe. I know it's crazy because people that are watching this are going to say, you have to say that because you live in Dubai.
Exactly.
But hang on a minute. Like, if you compare the crime ratio and everything else that happens in London, Manchester, wherever, compared to Dubai, we're still the safest. Do you know what I mean? We're still here for a reason.
Yes. We are living normally. People don't see that. Of course, at the end of the day, they were waiting for something to happen to Dubai.
Yeah, but
let's be honest.
Everyone's like, the Dubai bubble.
Your bubble now exploded and this and that. So all the media, we all know, we're not born yesterday. They're always going to use, anything they can against Dubai. So this was their opportunity to do so. But people will also realize once everything stops that everything is going to
The thing is, even the last 10 days, there's more people coming to Dubai than leaving now. So we're starting to, and like I said, if anything, this is going to make Dubai even safer than it actually is, because obviously it is a unique
circumstance.
It's a circumstance that we are in. Nobody ever expected it. But if anything, the defense will get even stronger. Everything will get stronger. It's similar to the floods example that we used. You saw it 2 years later. They've learned from, and again, it's almost like learning on the job.
Yeah.
These things happen, and it makes you kind of. They'll incentivize investors, tourists to come back as well. I mean, you've seen special offers everywhere at the moment with hotels and things like that as well. They will incentivize people if they need to come back. But I've got no doubt about it. I mean, Dubai's known for their bounce back, how they bounce back, whether it's COVID, whether it's financial crash or whatever it is. So it's been proven. It's not something we're just making up or because we're here. Like, we could easily move back now to our families. Do you know what I mean? But there's a reason we're here, is because we know there'll be a bounce back.
Yeah.
And the Sheikh has always got something up his sleeve to recover from it.
He's just waiting. Everything's already ready.
So planned out. It's weird. I always think, why is it so calm? But another thing that I know you mentioned it, and I think I kind of cut you off when you said that you have no doubt that Dubai will come back from this. No doubt. I think you were gonna carry on and say Ellington, because one of the things that I admire more about Ellington now, because of this situation, is that your payment plans are construction led.
Yeah.
So you pay as per the build happens, which a lot of other developers don't do.
Yeah.
So I know, for example, I won't name them, but there is another developer that says, it's 1% a month, for example, but you still have to pay regardless if the build is stopped. So I think that's a big advantage that a lot of investors will start to look for as well, is that sense of security. If anything does happen in the market, am I still having to pay for that milestone between 60 and 70%? If it stops at 60, Ellington are not going to say, do you know what I mean? So I think that gives a lot of investors a lot of peace of mind as well.
100%. Yeah, especially now that we can adjust a bit the payment plans, even less of that chunk would be linked to dates. Almost everything would be linked to the percentage of the construction. So this is definitely, it's all about those small things, but it's about, bringing it to the client so they can understand and see it. But we will start seeing a more and more traction. I'm telling you, even the last week, we've started to be a bit more busy again. Even selling to people from the UK who just moved in February. So imagine, they just moved over in February. And they are now buying for themselves, with Ellington, a property that's going to be ready in 3 years. But so, and imagine, you know, like this thing that happened in February, and they've been here and they just moved here, you know, just to show you.
It is crazy.
It's crazy, but people have a big trust in the country. I do. I've seen it during COVID. I've seen it after COVID. I've seen it now, etc. We are seeing what's happening. We are in the country. We are, you know, the ones who can really say what's happening here. And we have full trust in the country.
For sure. Honestly, Eva, it's been an amazing conversation. I don't think I've missed anything out. There was a few other questions I wanted to ask you, but you kind of made me think, hang on a minute, I shouldn't really ask that question because that's going to open a can of worms.
I just want to say thank you very much for taking the time out.
Yeah.
Really appreciate you coming on, and I'm sure we'll be doing business very soon. Well, I'll be seeing you next week, and we'll be seeing you next week. Anyway.
Dinner.
Yes, wish you all the best. And thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode.